I like my coffee how I like my metal sometimes. Black. That saying is fucking wow. Cringe. Well, YouTube, here we are again. Obviously, we're going to continue onward with the timeline of my taste of music and how it evolved from my youth to modern day. And we're going to go a different route, and I'm not going to smack you with, Black Metal 101. And what is that? I'll explain. Black Metal 101 basically consists of listing and naming bands that just about almost everybody has heard of, and I'm going to briefly go through the list in no fucking order at all, because I'm not trying to make a band or bands special. We have Emperor, Satyricon, Dark Throne, Burzum, Mayhem, but that is pretty much I guess you could say the road, if you will, or second wave black metal, as it's called. A lot of people gravitate towards, and then obviously there's the first wave black metal stuff, which is Bathory, Merciful Fate, King Diamond, whatever, Venom. We'll tackle that another fucking day. I'm not gonna do what you can easily do and just watch a YouTube video of what is black metal. We're not gonna do that today. And like I mentioned in the last video where I was talking about death metal and how there are subgenres within a genre, and then there's subgenres of subgenres within a genre, black metal has a lot of that. And then the other thing that black metal has the tendency to do is write and talk about, lyric-wise, about things that all the other genres don't like to write about, because black metal just does not fucking care. Black metal, in its pure essence, is the negative aspect of metal. It's as negative as it can get, because the whole point of black metal is to be not just negative, but send a message, whether if it's emotional based, philosophy based, whatever you want to go about it. It does get really extreme. And, yeah, we're gonna go only so far, folks. And with the remnants of my collection, even though it isn't much that is left, I was relatively in a weird position of what to talk about today, because I had a multitude of ways to go with today's video. Because I didn't want to deal and throw, the normie stuff in this video, and even though I a part of me wanted to, I did not want to, and I did not want to go in one general route and just fucking stay there and bore you all to death, because I want to be diverse with this shit. And I grabbed a few albums that, after I discovered black metal and found out what that genre was, I continued to dig in the genre. And I digged, and I digged, and wow. Black metal is it's a giant fucking abyss rabbit hole. I was not ready for it. And not only I wasn't ready for it, but my fucking wallet was not ready for it. And that's where my collection got expensive. If you are a vinyl scumbag of black metal, you already know how fucking bad and expensive black metal vinyls can get. Cause wow, but in this video I will try to explain the other subgenres of black metal as best as I fucking can, because again, doing these videos, I don't prep for them. I don't have even though I have two computer screens, folks, I don't have on my other screen notes to fucking make sure I don't fuck up like I did in the last video. Like really, Brett? Call my name? It's Cry My Name. How did I fuck that up? But yeah, I do these videos in one take. I do no prep work, nothing whatsoever. The only thing that I do aside from just talk to a fucking camera and hope that there are people watching and listening on the other end, because I don't know that, and unless I see views and stuff like that, you know. Analytics, the algorithm. Yeah. But aside from that, I just do editing, and that's all I do for these videos. That's literally all I do. I don't do like, this is what I'm going to talk about in today's video, and I'm going to make sure I don't mess up with this, and I make sure that I am on point with this. I don't do any of that at all. But without further ado, everyone, hope you enjoy this video, and I will go through this as the best of my fucking abilities, okay? Just bear with me. So the one thing that I have noticed when it comes to black metal is a lot of black metal musicians get bored and jump from band to band or have a multitude of projects, because certain band members or certain bands, they'll tour for an album, and then after they're done touring for that album, they have nothing to fucking do. So what do? They either write another album right after that, or they dabble with side projects and they work on that. Or some bands have what is a side project and then they create another project, but then that project gains more light and attention than their main project, so they just focus on that, and then they just dabble with the main project that is now their side project whenever they don't have, you know, when they're not consumed by their now main project that was once their side project. Black metal's confusing as fuck, people. But this band I came across when I discovered a band by the name of Mugwa. And I'm going to give you all a test. Figure out how to spell that. Yeah, I was not really ready, because I was like, what the hell kind of band name is that? Is that what? But Mugwa has been around for a while, and they hail from Poland. And Mugwa translates to fog in Polish. There you go. You just learned a word in a foreign language. Congratulations. But a band that has been something that the members of Mugwa have been involved with is a band called Kriegsmaschine. And this is the album Enemy of Man. Now, Mugwa is a black metal band that has the tendency to play songs that are relatively long, complex. The drumming is very complex in itself, because the drummer for Mugwa is also the drummer for Kriegsmaschine. And if you appreciate drumming, I will say, I will leave 2 clips of the drummer of both bands and just watch him drum. Like, it's a sight to see. It's awesome. But Kriegsmaschine and Mugwa, both bands have the topic of talking about religion. Yes, black metal, you would figure, being as evil as black metal can be, they talk about religion. And there are plenty of bands that talk about religion in various ways. But this album was an album that I fell in love with, and a lot of people that enjoy Kriegsmaschine truly appreciate Enemy of Man. And I guess I could say that this, in comparison to Mugwa, it is night and day. Like, it really is. If I had to choose which I prefer, I'm holding this fucking album up, am I? And I wasn't really too sure what to expect with Kriegsmaschine, because, again, I discovered Mugwa first. And when I was noticing that, certain band members or bands in general just have just a multitude of projects. Sometimes it's super group projects, and yeah, it gets interesting as to, like, do black metal musicians just do not know what the fuck grass looks like? Like, do they know what outside is? Like, do they just stay in their studio band space and just write music all fucking day? But Enemy of Man, like, this album, this is an original pressing of Enemy of Man. I'm not trying to flex, but this is an original pressing of Enemy of Man. Kriegsmaschine is a really solid band. This album is beautiful. I like how it was composed. I like the direction that this project and this album went in comparison to like typical Mugwa stuff, because Mugwa is good. It's a nice listen, but this is like the icing on the cake. Like, this is what you want. Even though Mugwa, like I said, is good, but this is like much better. I like it. If you like, very technical black metal in terms of like not just the drumming aspect, the guitar work can be not proggy, but there's depth with Kriegsmaschine. There's a lot of depth. Yeah, Religion, Kriegsmaschine, not Mugwa. But another thing that is common with black metal is like death metal. Death metal is a genre that paints a picture in your mind. It's meant to put you in a place of not of this world. Black metal does that in its own way, and that is atmosphere. Now, the subgenre atmospheric black metal is meant to put you in a dreamlike state, or it puts you in a not just a physical state, because atmospheric black metal does put you in a different mood, but in a mental state. And sometimes it can put you in a, very beautiful nature, like woods with a waterfall, mountains. Or sometimes it can be fucking bleak, and dismal, gloomy. Like, it can be all over the place. And the one band that I've stumbled upon takes a lot of influence from another band that exists. Black metal has that, that sort of thing, if you will, where a lot of black metal bands get inspiration from other bands, or just go, ooh, hey, can I copy your homework really quick? It's common. And this band hails from the Orient country. And black metal is... I thought death metal was more global. Black metal is. And this band, I just love the mental scape that this band creates. And that is Zuriaake. Now, Zuriaake is a band that, if I had to compare them to, if you've ever heard of the black metal band Summoning, this is pretty much Summoning, but it's not Summoning. And the one song that I absolutely love off of this album, it's the longest song on the album, and I don't know it because on the back it's all in a language that I can't read. But Zuriaake, they dabble with, I guess you can say, like ghost stories, because the Oriental countries have a fascination with the dead and ghosts, spirits, and stuff like that. And Zuriaake kind of captures that really well. Not only that, like if you were to watch clips of them playing live, they try to portray themselves as spirits on stage with all the fog and all the stage attire that the band members wear. It's interesting. But Zuriaake, I like it because, again, the atmospheric layers that the band utilizes in their music, it's fitting. It's beautiful and it's fitting. They also incorporate a lot of Oriental instruments with their music. That just, again, adds more... Dad's home. But adds to the music, and it's really beautiful. And, with how they incorporate everything and just slap it all together. But Zuriaake, I feel, if you enjoy atmospheric black metal to any extent, I'll leave a link. Check the album out. And yeah, Oriental Summoning. Do we go that route, Brett? Do we go that route, Brett? Yeah, we're gonna go that route. Okay, now like I said, black metal, when I was getting into it, and also collecting vinyls, I did not know how expensive vinyls can be. Because in my head, It's just round pieces of fucking plastic. How can it be so expensive? I would find that answer out really, really quick. Now, the one subgenre that, oh, again, you vinyl collectors of black metal will know when I mean this. Raw black metal. What I mean by raw black metal is, I'm pretty sure you all at some point in your lives as a child had a Fisher-Price recording little thing. Imagine the music being recorded, but with that. And nothing else. And there are a multitude of bands that have done that, and it just makes you go, wow, is this being recorded in a normal setting or a fucking cave? And the one band that has done that, Sanguine Relic, Bitter Reflection in the Luminous Shadows. Raw black metal has that, where they take a long ass fucking title to be edgy. And the other thing that is common with raw black metal is that the sleeves are made out of fucking cardboard. Like, not cardboard, Brett. Construction paper. It's literally an oversized piece of construction paper with ink on it. Now, the thing with raw black metal, it's all you really get is high-pitched screams mixed with simplistic drumming, if you will. Sometimes it's double bass, blast beats, and lots and lots of riffs. Lots of riffs. If you have not discovered what raw black metal is, to give you a diet version of this, raw black metal is a subgenre that tries to do what a band has done in the past, and it's one of the big names of black metal. That band is called Ulver, and Ulver has drifted away from their black metal roots, but one of the albums that they have done in the past is Nattens Madrigal. And Nattens Madrigal was a concept album that I feel like that album was literally recorded with a Fisher-Price recorder. But every raw black metal band tries to replicate what Ulver has done perfectively. And they do their best, but Ulver is the granddaddy of that raw tin can style production of sound. But Sanguine Relic was a band that I stumbled upon when it came to raw black metal, and it's the one of not many bands that I still appreciate, because the problem with raw black metal, it all just sounds the same. Though what gravitates me to Sanguine Relic is the riffs, if I had to be, honest about it. Aside from that, it's all rinse and repeat of what raw black metal is, because, yeah. But this is an original copy of this album, and if you need to know the label that's no longer existing, it's sad. But Sanguine Relic is a raw black metal band that is appreciated by some, if not a lot. And it's either this album or another album. As to, what's the favorite? For me, it's this one. I wasn't going to go into fucking depth with that aspect of black metal. But since we're on this fucking topic of raw black metal, I do have another one that isn't as tin canny, but it's a little bit better and more crisp and has more to it. Another band that I stumbled upon when I got introduced to raw black metal was a band that I was like, the logo looks cool, because the other thing that's common with black metal is the logos are just what would look like a bunch of tree branches put together, and you go, okay, what am I looking at? But there are times where the black metal bands have a logo that is readable, and then you go, okay, how do I pronounce that? Obskuritatem from Prisca Cacophona. And yeah, this band, wow, I will say, is probably my favorite raw black metal band I've ever found. And there is an individual that pretty much introduced me to raw black metal, and he's been doing this YouTube stuff for a while, and he's successed in it, very much so. And he goes by the name of Wyattxhim. I will leave a link for his channel. And he's all over the place. You might like him. And he's more proper. I mean, yeah, he does get, goofy with his videos, but not like, fucking out there goofy. But he is comical at times, and you might enjoy him as well. And his musical taste is fucking everywhere. But back on track, Wyattxhim is the reason why I discovered raw black metal, more so this band, and also the label that this was printed on, and that is Go to RX. Yeah, the label that their stuff sells out so fast and gets flipped on the secondary market, and yeah, that's where raw black metal gets expensive, people. Because the one thing that is common with raw black metal is that not many copies get printed. It's somewhere between 50 and 100. And then you get thrown with it's only going to get printed once and that's it. Well, guess what? That shit's a fucking lie. It gets reprinted further down, like years later sometimes. But yes, this is the original copy of it. No, I will not disclose as to how much I spent on getting it. It was a fucking steal. $90. This goes for more than that. But Obskuritatem is a raw black metal band from Bosnia, and the other thing that is common with black metal, especially raw black metal, you don't know anything about the band members, like, at all. Like, it's supposed to be mysterious, like, woo. But Obskuritatem, and with this album, I just love the aggressive, almost like death metal approach, but it's not death metal. Like, it's weird. It's black metal, but it's heavy. But it's not death metal. It's hard to pinpoint. And yeah, the vocal approach too, it's guttural. It's just like when I listen to Obskuritatem, it's black metal that's so fucking like, I hate people. Like, I hate people. Obskuritatem. Hopefully you'll enjoy it, cause I do. 27 minutes, Brett? Yeah, no, we're not. We're gonna speed it up. Now, the one thing that is also common with black metal is the hate aspect of the genre is not just outward, sometimes it's inward. Yeah, the subgenre of black metal that I'm going to talk about is DSBM. No, it's not BDSM, you sick fucks. But DSBM is abbreviated for Depressive Suicidal Black Metal, and there is a lot of bands that dabble with that. And again, I wasn't gonna be the normie fucking individual and mention bands like Shining, Life Lover, Zathler, Leviathan. I wasn't gonna go down that route. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, people. Okay? Like, just fucking settle down and just fucking relax, okay? And one band that I honestly fell in love with, because the one thing that DSBM captivates is the atmosphere. Again, it puts you in a mindset of like, wow, this shit is sad. Like, really sad. And the band that I wanted to display and talk about today, Deadspace. The Grand Disillusionment. I'm going to flip it around because the cover of the album has the front man with a gun in his mouth. So we're just going to leave it at that. At least you got to see the front, right? But Deadspace is a band from Australia, and Australian people, wow, these guys are a different breed of people. But you're all amazing. Let me just say that. Like, Australian musicians, they're not just talented, but they're funny as hell. You know, with this album, I'm gonna do that. Where you don't really see the cover. I mean, you see him, but you don't see the gun in his fucking mouth. But Deadspace, The Grand Disillusionment, was the album that I stumbled upon first. And I actually got to meet the front man on a more personal level, because aside from him dabbling with music, he's also an artist. And I actually have a piece of his work hanging on my wall, which I have used on my own musical work, and we'll talk about that stuff in another video, not now. But this album is beautiful. It's sad, but it's beautiful. I like the approach to this. Like, there is a lot of talent in this project, and with not just this album, but like as the band in its entirety. Like, there is synthesizer work. The drumming is perfect. One song that I thought I would be able to try and play, I can't play it because the guitar work is just too tough, and that is the second track, which is As Time moves backwards because it's a lot of like if you listen to this and I leave the link, you'll understand. Like, it's hard to replicate it. I can't do it. But raw black metal and just black metal in its entirety have that tremolo pick style, and it comes from a special place. And again, we'll get to that point at some time, not now. Deadspace is a really beautiful project. It captivates the subgenre that is the DSBM. I try so hard not to say BDSM because BDSM, DSBM, it incorporates the same letters but not really, and it's hard to like not jumble and fuck that up. This album though is beautiful. When I have my sad boy moments, I listen to Deadspace because Deadspace is it's some sad shit. But Deadspace, Grand Disillusionment, awesome album. That's what it looks like. We're going to hide the gun. We're just going to put it down. But yes, DSBM. Sad stuff. Now, the last album I'm going to show you is a band that I was like, well, what? This makes no fucking sense. Like, how do you? One thing that I found out with black metal is sometimes it's improv. Meaning they just go and plug everything in, mic test, cool, record. Kind of like what I do with this channel. No prep work, record. And there are bands that do that, and they also do that with some help. What do I mean by with some help? Drugs. And one band that I can only imagine their thought process when they not just record music but play live. I would love to see it. Band that I'm going to talk about and to end this video with a close is, you might wonder what the fuck this band is. Skaphe. Now, Skaphe is a black metal band that does mushrooms while they record albums and play music. Like, here is the chemical composition for cycloclobin, which is mushrooms. Skaphe is a band that I was like, wow. I'm honestly fucking utterly impressed. And majority of Skaphe's album works are in this manner. And they do a lot of like symbols and like weird, like almost like occultism like stuff, but it's different. And Skaphe has a like guttural death metal approach with vocals. It's not like typical like it's heavy. And the other thing that I find with Skaphe is when they play and record music, it's all over the fucking place. It's almost as if someone is tripping the fuck out because again, they're playing this material while on mushrooms. And the drumming is just like it's everywhere. And the guitar work is also everywhere as well. Skaphe is interesting. The band has been around for not long, but they have pushed out a multitude of albums, and they're all self-titled with a numerical number. Like, for example, I think this one is Skaphe 3. Yeah, but Skaphe is an interesting band, and if you enjoy experimental stuff, not just improv stuff, but experimental black metal, as I'd call this, Skaphe is exactly that. And that's it for today's video. Yeah, 36 minutes of editing. I don't look forward to that at all, people. At all. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you haven't done it already. You get the fucking idea. I'm not going to go with like the same routine like blah blah blah. Almost like what I used to do on my last channel. Yeah, my name's Sharpmore. Black metal lifts things up and puts them down. Like, that wasn't fucking catchy. Like, why the fuck was I saying that in my last channel? Like, why? But that's it, folks. Hope you enjoy. And I hope you enjoy the material of stuff that I leave in the description below so like that you can get more of an in-depth idea because, I tried to be simple and, 37 minutes later, here the fuck we are. Hopefully it's less than that because I gotta edit and crop and jump cut and, and make sure everything is professional. And yeah, hopefully I don't fuck up and cut my set off mid-sentence and, you know, all that other fun stuff. But yes, until next time, I really don't know what I'm going to do in the next video because, you know, now that we've reached the end, do I go the normie route? You know, but anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have a good day. And, yeah. Bye.